taken over. Precision, Lipton!
Hi everyone, I'm Johnny, and today we're taking a look at Band of Brothers Episode 7 titled The Breaking Point. This will be an episode of continued attritional fighting, where our company of paratroopers will lose some and gain some new leadership. So let's check it out. Episode 7 picks up right where Episode 6 leaves off. The siege of Bastogne has been lifted, with General Patton's 4th Armored Division opening a corridor to Bastogne. The 101st Airborne and Easy Company do not get any rest, however, as they will now go on the offensive to capture neighboring towns, with the focus of the episode on the town of Foy. But the paratroopers would first have to secure the woods around Foy, known as the Bois Jacques. Here they again would face severe shelling. The first casualty in the episode does not, however, come from the enemy. Rather, a souvenir Luger pistol is accidentally discharged by Corporal Hubler, who had it stuffed in his pocket. The bullet tore his femoral artery, killing him. World War II firearm safety is almost unrecognizable to modern standards. It's troubling to think of how common this might have been for young men, scrambling to collect pistols they're unfamiliar with, and jamming them into their pockets, sometimes while in active combat. The attack on the town is naturally a condensed action for the show, but Easy Company of the 101st were supported by 3rd Battalion of the 506, F Company from 2nd Battalion, and units of the 11th Armored Division. The battle was a series of back-and-forth engagements that began in late December, with the final attack shown here taking place the 13th of January 1945. Taking the town required house-to-house clearing of snipers. Despite the seriousness of the fighting, the village of Foy suffered no civilian casualties, though Foy only represented one town of several in the area being fought for, where civilians were not always so lucky. Norman Dyke, who led Easy Company during the attack on Foy, will receive much coverage in the episode, in particular criticism for his leadership and freezing up while attacking Foy. It's unsure if he was injured or panicked when he halted Easy Company about 75 yards from the edge of town, leaving his men exposed. Paratrooper Clancy Lyle did later describe witnessing Dyke as having been injured. Norman Dyke was the son of a New York State Supreme Court judge, and his mother was also from an influential family. With Easy Company, Dyke earned a reputation for being uninvolved. However, when you consider this stage of action where men were stretched thin, casualties were high, and the battlefield being dynamic and wooded, it's not unreasonable that Dyke could be hard to find. One can further see how a new man to the company could easily and undeservingly gain this reputation. Sergeant Carl Lipton even remarks in the episode that Easy Company, with what they had been through, would be a difficult company of men to make a good impression with, especially if you came from a privileged background and had been at headquarters during much of the combat. Furthermore, filling a man's shoes, like Dick Winters, would be near impossible. That being said, Dyke did have some combat experience. Dyke had already received a Bronze Star for organizing the defense of a road junction in Holland. Dyke received a 2nd Bronze Star for his action at Bastogne, in which he personally removed from an exposed position, in full enemy view, 3 wounded members of his company, while under intense small arms fire. Ultimately, during the attack on Foy, Lieutenant Ronald Spears would take over for Dyke, leading Easy Company. Lieutenant Spears had a reputation up until this point as being an effective combat officer, though unlike Winters, Spears led with an element of fear, and the rumors he executed prisoners on D-Day helped him with that. Spears was also fearless. True to history at Foy, he ran through German lines to link up with Item Company to better help coordinate the attack. Amazingly, the officer Spears linked up with was immediately killed by enemy machine gun fire after Spears left to return to Easy Company. Spears seemed to always be one step ahead of death. Lipton was another man recognized for his leadership in the episode. He received a battlefield commission to 2nd Lieutenant for his actions in Bastogne. These promotions were not uncommon. Over 25,000 were granted during the war. They tended to be more common the more attrition a company faced, with officers needing to be replaced. Lipton was highly respected by all of Easy Company. Buck Compton would be one excellent officer Easy Company would lose during the engagement. Buck had already been shot in the ass during Operation Market Garden. Witnessing two of his closest friends, Joe Toy and Bill Garnier, badly wounded by German artillery, unnerved him to the point it was decided he should be taken off the line, and he was sent off for severe trench foot. Alright, I'm Johnny. Thank you for watching. As always, it's a pleasure working my way through my favorite historical series. Do stay tuned because I believe we in the 101st will soon be entering Germany. Do take care and have a nice rest of your day.